Hello and welcome to Thursday's Take 5.
Yes, welcome.
We are on location again, and just in case you don't recognise the building behind us, it is written up there very clearly. We're in Chichester. So
Enjoying the sunshine today. It's
yes,
been a much sunnier day today, so it's been great.
just before we go on, just a little correction from, I can't remember if it's Mondays or Tuesdays. Tuesdays Take 5, where I said that the lineage of Jesus was from Abraham through Isaac through Jacob, and then I said Joseph, and of course it's not through Joseph, it comes through Judah, and you can see that in Luke's Gospel, you see that in Matthew's Gospel. So before you put too many comments in the Facebook page, it's Judah it comes through.
We did realise, but not till afterwards.
Anyway, Genesis 20...
Yes, today we are in Genesis 25 through to 28, and there's an awful lot going on in these chapters. So we're starting in 25, where it's the death of Abraham, and then we move on then to the birth of Esau and Jacob. And then in Genesis 27, we revisit again the promise that was given to Abraham, which is now for Isaac. So we revisit that. In Genesis 27, we're moving on to Jacob stealing Esau's blessing. And then in Genesis 28, that is Jacob's dream as he travels down to stay with his Uncle Laban. So that's a very, very brief overview of what's happened in these chapters.
We're going to focus in on a couple of aspects here. We can't cover it all, obviously, in these few minutes. But I want to particularly look at the promise carrying on through here. So right at the beginning of Jacob's life, we learn that God speaks to Rebecca. The Lord speaks to Rebecca and says, the older will serve the younger. Now he's talking about the two babies, the twins in Rebecca's womb. They are Esau and Jacob, brothers. You think they get on? Maybe, or maybe not actually with brothers, but anyway, the younger, Jacob, who pops out just after Esau, is going to be the one who inherits the blessing, who will be the master, who will get God's promise. And Rebecca's very clearly told that. And I'm sure at some point she shares it with Jacob. She seems to have a strong preference for him. The scripture says she loved Jacob. The understanding being that she didn't love Esau nearly as much, if at all. So she's on Jacob's side. And then Jacob, whose name means the grabber, the deceiver, the one who tries to get his own way, very much tries to work this out with Esau. And it seems that he's always pushing to take from anyone really, but in this case Esau, what is actually rightfully Esau's. Now it's interesting that physically Esau should inherit the promise. That's how it should be.
Yep, the firstborn.
The firstborn. But it just doesn't work out like that. And Jacob, deceitfully...
Well, there's a lot of, underhand stuff.
It's not great, is it?
Going on here.
Jacob's
Let's be honest, and it's not just Jacob on his own. Rebecca's got, she plays her part.
Yeah.
She overhears a conversation, says, come on, Jacob, let's sort this out. I mean...
He's not a great role model, is he?
No, he doesn't come over terribly well.
But what's really interesting is God has decided that this is the way it's going to work out. And although, in my book, Jacob goes about it completely wrongly and tries to work it out for himself with Rebecca's assistance at times. Although he does all of that, even if he hadn't done that, and of course we'll never know, God would still have sent the promise down through Jacob's line. But of course, we read that Jacob, on many occasions, he worked it out so that he was going to make it happen his way.
Yeah, and what I love in Genesis 26 is when God talks to Isaac twice, and he reiterates the promise that he gave to Abraham will come to Isaac and his descendants, and he tells him not just once, but in Genesis 26 he tells him this twice, just to be absolutely sure. There it is, twice the Lord comes to Isaac in Genesis 26 and says, the promise that I gave to Abraham, that promise is yours.
Yeah. And so that's working its way out through Isaac, through Jacob. God is having his way. And I just want to encourage you today that God will have his way in your life. He will fulfill his promises, and we shouldn't try and manipulate that. We shouldn't try and force it. It is ours to, it's our role to let God do these things in our lives and not manipulate the circumstances. So just let go of your own volition, your own desires, and let God come in and do what only God can do, even when it looks impossible physically. The promises are ours. His promises are ours, and we can just allow him to work those out in our lives. So rely on that today, trust in that, and have a great day.
And we'll see you tomorrow.